My name is Olivia. The other day, I was about to make stew and realized I forgot to buy milk at 39. Oh no, I despaired. But thank goodness for the internet era. I read that water or soy milk could be used as substitutes, which was a relief. I bet if I lived in the era of recipe books, those ingredients would have turned into a pot tofu. Well, today, let's talk about a chaotic experience I had at a French restaurant. It happened 12 years ago. I had just married my same aged husband, James, and things were going well. Or so I wish I could say, but I was already facing a dilemma. You see, getting along with my in law's house was incredibly challenging. My relationship with my husband lasted about 4 years. For 2 of those years, we were considering marriage and deepening our relationship with each other's families. Back then, my relationship with my in law's house was good, and I thought I could become a part of his family. But after our marriage was officially decided, my father in law passed away suddenly. My mother in law, Amy, and my sister in law, Amelia, started living just the two of them. The atmosphere at the in law's house changed drastically. Amelia was 30 at the time. She quit her job in the city and returned home, ostensibly out of concern for Amy after the loss of her father. But the reality was different. She had been dumped by her longtime live-in boyfriend, who worked at the same company, and returned home, relying on her family's financial support. Apparently, Amelia had cheated on him with another colleague, making her workplace uncomfortable. She tried to switch to the affair partner, only to be rejected because he already had a girlfriend. A total disaster. Amy, who always wanted a daughter, was delighted with Amelia's return more than anyone. Amy, who had always wanted a girl, doted on Amelia. Her wish come true. My husband, born later, was raised more carelessly, even though he was the heir. However, Amelia gradually found Amy's manner annoying, contrary to Amy's wishes. Amy smothered Amelia, buying her anything and doing everything for her, always keeping her close. This led to frequent nagging from Amy's mouth. "I'm doing this for your sake," Amy would often say in nagging. For example, "Mini skirts are a no-go." Or, "If you like this boy, Mom will play Cupid for you." And these were things no one would want to hear from a parent, but Amy always had her say. As a result, Amelia rebelled against Amy and chose a distant university, leading to her unemployment there. However, Amelia finally returned to Amy. "I'm worried about Mom." But in reality, she just needed a free place to stay as she was jobless. Unaware of this, Amy was completely fooled and genuinely happy about her beloved daughter's return. Amy's excessive affection for Amelia accelerated from this point on. Amelia, having returned from the city, despised young women and the concept of marriage. The reason was simple. The man who dumped her had married a younger woman, and I, engaged to her brother, was the perfect target for Amelia's disdain. Every time we met, she'd say things like, "Living off your husband after getting married must be a nice life." Or, "It's enviable how someone can lead such a pampered life," and so on. It was awful when I mentioned my family's food business in the area and how my company sometimes uses it for hosting. "How lucky to have parents to fall back on, working in hospitality, living off money taken from others." She stared at me. Her comments were so outrageous, disparaging every profession. I had never relied much on my family, and I intended to continue my job after marrying. I thought, mind your own business, but that would only escalate Amelia's anger. Best to stay silent. There's no point in arguing with someone like her. It never gets through. Ignoring her was the easiest way. Initially, Amy just chuckled at Amelia's nonsensical behavior, but once she realized Amelia disapproved of her neutral stance, Amy started joining her and mocking me. My husband noticed this situation, of course. He tried to keep me out of Amelia's circle as much as possible, and scolded them when he saw what they were saying about me. I felt guilty that this caused my husband to fall out of favor with Amelia and Amy, but I saw him as a dependable ally. Normally, such issues could lead to postponing a marriage. I even considered it, but I was marrying my husband. not the two at the in-laws' house. If my husband was solid, everything would surely be okay. Believing this, I decided to marry. It was about 6 months after our marriage. For work, I had to entertain my boss at a high-end French restaurant. As we were leaving, we happened to be spotted by Amelia, who was window shopping. There she goes again, talking about enjoying luxuries with my husband's money, even though it's a company expense. I greeted her without showing my annoyance. Then Amelia, after staring into my eyes for a moment, turned towards me with a broad smile. "Oh my, Olivia, what a coincidence! I'm so surprised to see you here." "I feel the same way." "Oh, so this is your family's place, Olivia? I had no idea it was such a fancy restaurant. I love French cuisine. This is great." "Huh? You should have told me sooner. You know what? Invite me to your restaurant now. I want to try the recommended dishes. You'll treat me, right?" Amelia, I haven't visited since you got married. It's okay, right? Think of it as hospitality and treat me." "No, I mean, right now, I'm actually in the middle of a work-related entertainment. Could you please excuse me?" "What? You mean we're not good enough for your hospitality? Come on, hospitality! Yes, hospitality!" Amelia suddenly changed her tone and started clapping her hands, calling for hospitality. Embarrassing. I almost forgot, but my boss and the business client were right behind me. Naturally, both of them were looking at Amelia and me with puzzled eyes. They definitely saw us both as weirdos, and I was just caught up in this. Your family? If it's going to take a while, maybe you should go ahead." "Oh, no, it's okay. Amelia, I'm really sorry, but I'm in the middle of work. How could I tell them I'm leaving the meeting because a family member has caught me?" I hurriedly followed my boss. "You don't have to force it," he said with a strained smile. Even Amelia seemed to realize she shouldn't hold me back. "Oh, right. I'll contact you later." She quickly backed off. After that, "It's quite a strong, no, resilient family you have." I got a wry smile from the business client. Needless to say, the business deal which was supposed to be secured through that entertainment fell through. I wasn't officially blamed for the mishap, but I think I was seen in a bad light because of that incident. I mean, if a business associate's acquaintance started singing about hospitality, right? Normally, you'd think they're all the same and cancel the deal. The client's judgment was probably right. My boss also said, "Don't get excited with personal acquaintances during important business entertainment. Have you become careless since you got married?" I was scolded and my reputation suffered because of Amelia. It was terrible. That night, I complained to my husband about it while drunk, and he immediately called Amelia to complain. But Amelia, "What? I left in the middle of it, didn't I? If the business didn't go through, it's Olivia's lack of ability," retorted. "Depending on your husband's income like a temporary employee, it's obvious to everyone. You probably can't work well. That's why it happened. You better not quit your job." Without mentioning her own immediate resignation after an affair at work, she just ranted. Furious at her unbearable insults, my husband exploded. "Cool your head, you idiot!" He hung up the phone with an intensity I'd never seen before, even throwing the receiver onto the sofa. I think in his mind, he was throwing it at Amelia. It was such rough treatment, not typical of my husband. But I guess he was frustrated with Amelia's self-centered way of thinking, so unlike his own. 3 days later, on a day off when my husband and I were relaxing at home, Amelia and Amy suddenly showed up. "Holding your face to show up here?" My husband exploded with anger, but I calmed him down. "What brings you here?" I asked Amelia. "It's already lunchtime, right? I thought we could all have a meal together." Her voice, as cloyingly sweet as if it had a heart mark at the end, only gave me a bad feeling. My husband felt the same. "Just go with Mom. We don't need to join." I thought she would say it. "No, it's more fun if we all eat together. Let's take this opportunity to go to Olivia's family's restaurant." I thought I'd say that. I really did say. Despite my husband shouting, they just remained defiant. It seems normal, like no or stop, just don't get through to these people. Sorry, but even if I invite you to my family's restaurant, I can't offer to treat you. What? Don't be so stingy. You are our family and more importantly, my brother's wife. That means I'm in a higher position. You think you can defy me? Amy nodded in agreement. Of course. With Amelia's words. It's not like I'm asking you to treat me every day. I'm just saying it would be nice if you did it this one time. Not doing so is like discriminating against your in-laws. Olivia looks down on us. She doesn't consider us family. That's why she can do such things. If that's what you think, Olivia, if you won't treat us, then get a divorce. Amelia's nonsensical logic left us speechless. What? My husband and I exclaimed in unison. Are you kidding me? What are you talking about? My husband almost lunged at Amelia in anger, so I hurriedly stopped him. I'm not kidding. If you can't treat us, then divorce. Your choice is to show us hospitality or to divorce. What will you do? Amelia waited for my response with a malicious grin, and Amy did the same. They didn't seem to think of stopping Amelia after all this. I'll show them just how ridiculous they are to the point of wanting to cry. All right, let's go. At my words, Amelia and Amy's eyes sparkled. That's what I wanted to hear. They smiled contentedly. My husband, pulling at my hand, said, What are you saying? But he fell silent when he met my gaze. Don't worry. My silent gaze assured him. Thankfully, he understood. I made an excuse of needing to prepare and let Amelia and Amy into the house while I called the restaurant for a reservation. I also explained to my husband what I was planning to do. Seeing his relieved smile made me feel at ease. Then came the dinner. Upon arriving at the restaurant, Wow, this is what the interior looks like. Amelia immediately started taking pictures of the interior, all high-spirited. Embarrassing, being watched by other customers, but I had to endure it. Please eat whatever you like. Amelia and Amy stared at the menu as if they were going to eat it. Hungry hyenas. This is a high-end French restaurant, remember? Or did they leave their manners back at their in-laws' house? I couldn't help but feel the stares from around us, but I had to bear it. Finally, Amelia declared, Let's order all the expensive stuff. They chose the most expensive items on the menu. Amelia and Amy devoured the food as if it was the most delicious thing they'd ever eaten. Olivia, this is amazing. Really delicious. Eating this for free. I want to come again. Right? I'll ask you next time, Olivia. They might as well have eaten the plates. They were so enthusiastic. Sure, I replied with a smile. Yay! Another treat of French cuisine. Lucky us. Amelia and Amy rejoiced. Go ahead, eat as much as you like, I encouraged them. Of course, Amelia responded with a thumbs up. My husband chuckled softly, trying to contain himself. What's so funny? Just enjoying how deliciously you're eating. Yes, it's tasty. Why don't you eat too? After all, Olivia is paying. No, we're good. We had a big lunch before coming, right, Olivia? Yes, we made too much chicken. Chicken? French cuisine is better than that. This is why you have poor taste. But it's fine. It's free. We'll enjoy ourselves. My husband barely suppressed another laugh. But this time, neither Amelia nor Amy noticed. Really, you're missing out. The truffles are amazing. Since it's free, let's have 2 more plates. Sounds great, Mom. They quickly ordered more, like champagne steamed abalone with white truffles, a dish costing around $120 per plate, sparingly served in a concave dish. The sauce used expensive lobster, adding luxury to the unnoticeable parts of the dish. Ordering a la carte like this, the bill was skyrocketing compared to a fixed-price course. Although we are feeling more embarrassed as no other table is ordering a la carte like this, but it's about time. I have something I want to talk about. Oh, what's up, Olivia? Amelia and Amy, in a good mood, asked me with a kinder voice than usual. Well, actually my family's business specializes in Western cuisine. Huh? Amelia and Amy looked puzzled as I smiled. So is this a sister restaurant or something? Like that? It's not like that or anything. This restaurant has no relation to our family's business. Huh? And what about the bill? I never said I would treat you. I said let's go out to eat, and you can eat whatever you like. What do you mean by that? Amy and Amelia's faces turned pale in an instant, and my husband couldn't help but start laughing. Come on, this is a fancy restaurant. It's embarrassing to laugh so much. But I understand his feelings. If this were my house, I'd be rolling on the floor laughing. I just never found the right moment to say, this restaurant was just for entertainment purposes. You never listen to people's words. Well, it's your responsibility. To my smiling face, I'll pay it back, Amelia yelled. Huh? Pay back? You mean the food you ate? No, once you've eaten it, it's impossible. Are you stupid? But we can't pay for all this we ate. You pay. What are you talking about? We didn't eat anything, so we have no obligation to pay. That's why I made the reservation under Amelia's name. Just because my name's on the reservation doesn't mean I have to pay. What are you talking about? But in the end, it was Amelia who sat at this table and ate, right? That creates an obligation to pay. It's not a restaurant where you can eat for free. The name is known and you'd better pay without resistance, I advised. Amelia slumped down, and Amy was in a daze. Well, let's see the bill. It might be surprisingly cheap, right? This place is quite reasonable. Oh! When I froze looking at the bill, Amelia and Amy, What? Trembled. Well, you ate so much, it's $3,000. I showed them the bill and signaled the waiter to proceed with the payment. No, can't pay this. Please, Olivia, I apologize for everything up to now. Please forgive us. Amelia, in a frenzy, and Amy, with hands clasped in front of her face, pleaded desperately. Then the staff arrived and the payment process began. My husband and I stood up, preparing to leave. Wait! Don't run away! Amelia chased after us, shouting loudly in the restaurant. Don't mess with me! I'll make sure you pay! Definitely! Oh! Turning around, Amelia had collided with a vase. Her heel was broken. Bad luck. Apparently, while chasing her, her heel broke and the vase hit her as she staggered, and the vase was shattered. Customer! An employee approached her and hurriedly handed Amelia a towel. That's not nice. Are you hurt? My ankle scraped. What's with this place causing an injury? I'll sue. Well, about that, you need to compensate for the vase. Huh? This is a baccarat vase, a gift at our opening, worth $47,000. So what? You've been running around despite our staff trying to stop you. You have to pay the full amount. What? I'm sure you've had some alcohol, so if you don't pay, I'll call the police. What? Amy caught up and turned pale, seeing Amelia looking up at the sky, speechless. My husband and I left the restaurant laughing heartily. Actually, about that French restaurant, I told Amelia we had no connection, but it's owned by a friend of my dad who used to work at the same place. I've been going there since I was little and know the chef. It was also used for entertainment. It's delicious there, because I recommended it. I talked directly with the owner about bringing Amelia, and Amy anticipating potential trouble. But the owner was, Go for it. Give them a taste of their own medicine, Olivia. The owner cheerfully agreed to lend me the restaurant. Honestly, if it had been under my name, they might have been forgiven for breaking the vase if it wasn't intentional. But it seems the owner had orchestrated the police threat behind the scenes, something I couldn't help but respect. With the owner's support, Amelia and Amy ended up owing $50,000, $3,000 for the food, and $47,000 for the vase. I ended up owing a total of $50,000 to that store. Why a debt? Because they couldn't pay immediately. Amelia was unemployed and Amy was living on a pension, so Amelia had to scramble to find a job. But she kept getting rejected in job interviews because she arrogantly explained her reason for leaving her last job as, The place was too small for my capabilities. Because of this arrogant explanation, she was completely rejected. Well, she couldn't say she left because she was dumped after cheating, but still, she could have chosen her words better. Eventually, Amy had to work part-time, and Amelia did the housework, taking about 8 years to finally clear the debt. 8 years without finding a job for Amelia? I heard from a well-informed acquaintance. She found a job once, but got involved with a married man there, and it went downhill. Amy finished paying off the debt from the French restaurant, but Amelia, even after 12 years, is now stuck in a hell of bail payments from a lawsuit and has returned to being unemployed. Since that incident, my husband almost cut ties with Amelia and Amy, only checking on their debt repayment. We didn't completely sever the relationship because they seemed genuinely remorseful and apologized at one point. Plus, they're still family. I helped in forgiving them initially. However, when Amelia showed up at our house after the lawsuit, dumped by a man, no job, need you to pay my bill. My husband was furious. I couldn't stop him, nor did I want to. So now we're estranged. It's fair considering what they did. Once is enough for such chances. Unrepentant people don't change. I think it turned out for the best. Since then, we've had 2 daughters. Our eldest, inspired by my dad's cooking, has dived into the culinary world, even asking for a kid's knife set for her birthday. My dad, since Olivia didn't take over the house, maybe she will, even jokes. She's surprisingly good at cooking for her age, even making carrot flowers, something I'm not great at. The younger daughter is the opposite, very clumsy but extremely good at sports, probably taking after my husband. Her only flaw is her short attention span. She was into dance but switched to skateboarding after watching the Olympics. I wonder what kind of adult she'll become. I'm excited to see. To build a happy home, I'm determined to make a nourishing dinner today. Oh no, I forgot to buy some ingredients again. Still a long way to go before becoming the perfect mom, I guess.